You might believe that the only distinction between the wealthy and the poor is the size of their bank accounts, but there's actually a much more significant factor. You see, in order to become wealthy, you must not only possess a set of skills, but also the mentality necessary to put those skills to use. I'll therefore outline 7 ways the wealthy view money differently in this video. For more content that will change your life, click the subscribe button below if you're new to the channel. First mindset. Money is not as valuable as time. Your most valuable resource is time, and there are 2 main reasons why. There are only a certain number of hours in a day, making it a limited resource. Furthermore, the only resource that can be changed into anything you want is time. Your time can be used, for instance, to earn money so that you can go on vacation or spend time with friends. The flexibility that time offers is unmatched by any other resource, and wealthy people are aware that they can always increase their income. But each of us has a finite amount of time to live on this planet. In light of this, they seek out strategies to make the most out of their own personal time by utilizing technology in the time of others. Think about the following exercise. What monetary value would you place on being able to reduce your work week to just 4 days while saving an entire day's worth of processing paperwork? An amount of $100? $500? Create a precise dollar amount. Imagine that you could hire someone to complete 8 hours of work for $100 if you make $50 per hour. Do you want to do it? With those $100, you could go see that movie you've been meaning to see or spend the whole day with your family. This compromise is referred to as an opportunity cost in economics because it represents the potential gain from other options that is lost when one alternative is chosen. Therefore, the cost of choosing to work is the monetary value assigned to engaging in leisure activities. There is no way this could ever happen at my job, you might be thinking as an employee. However, a large number of people already take advantage of the time of others to cut their work weeks. According to a 2018 study cited by CNBC, 70% of professionals worldwide now do so at least occasionally. You owe your employer 40 hours per week of productive time. Why not work 32 and contract out the remaining 8? Second, people start businesses in order to have more control over their time and work because of this. Rich people inquire about effective work delegation strategies to make the most of others' time. In exchange, they have more control over how they choose to spend their time. Wealthy people seek out passive income strategies in part so they can generate income without having to put in any effort. The second mindset is that health is the basis of wealth. One of my personal maxims is that you have nothing if your health isn't there. And unlike time, better health cannot be purchased. Statistical evidence suggests that wealthy people typically live longer, although there are always exceptions to the rule. The richest Americans live up to 15 years longer than the poorest Americans, according to a 2017 study that was published in The Lancet. The wealthy can therefore use the time of others to extend their own, but they also compound this effect by making healthy decisions that will lengthen their lives and, in turn, increase their chances of amassing larger fortunes. A healthier lifestyle is the first step in forging ties between health and wealth. People who self-report having enough money to do everything they want to do and have better eating habits as well, according to a 2017 Gallup survey. The Washington Post's analysis of data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention revealed that income was the biggest state-level predictor of physical activity. This also makes perfect sense. There's no denying the fact that healthier food is more expensive, and not everyone can afford to double their grocery budget in order to eat healthy. The sad truth is that many people work such long hours to make ends meet that they either lack the time or the energy to maintain a regular workout schedule. Fortunately, leading a healthier lifestyle doesn't require having money. Start with free at-home exercises and make an effort to eat as healthily as you can within your means. While you're at it, review your health insurance to make sure it'll cover you in the event of a genuine medical emergency. Third mindset. Happiness and wealth can coexist. In general, happier people tend to be more wealthy, and you probably aren't surprised by this because you're aware of how detrimental financial stress can be to your mental health. The wealthy, however, control these feelings by making sure they have enough money to overcome any financial hardship, and this vigilance pays off in spades. Income and life satisfaction are strongly correlated, according to a National Academy of Sciences study, along with financial security and emotional health. annual income of up to about $75,000. It then started to level off. However, the National Institutes of Health found in several studies from 2018 that even among millionaires, having more money did make people happier. It's interesting that they discovered that wealth's origin mattered as well. Self-made millionaires reported higher levels of happiness than lottery or inheritance winners. You've probably heard someone say, "I'd rather be happy than rich." But why can't you have both? While money can't necessarily buy happiness, it can buy you more time with your loved ones, which should make you happier. Wealth can help you and your partner retire young and raise your children full-time, or it can help you transition to a single-income household. You can use it to free up more time to do whatever you want, and having that kind of freedom is undoubtedly something to be grateful for. The fourth mindset is that taking risks is necessary for success. The way the wealthy and the poor handle financial risk is one glaring difference. Simply put, earning money always involves taking some sort of risk. For instance, if you leave your current position in search of one that pays more, there's a chance that the new position won't be as fulfilling or that you'll be let go more frequently. If you buy government bonds, you run the risk of losing some or all of your money if the government goes bankrupt. These and other instances support the age-old saying, "No risk, no reward." And time again, we observed a distinct difference between the risk tolerance of the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the time, we see poor people drastically reducing or eliminating their financial risk, which also limits their capacity to increase their wealth. According to statistics, half of all Americans have no stock ownership at all. This covers retirement plans, 401ks, and IRA accounts, as well as college 529 plans. In actuality, the richest 10% of Americans own 48% of all U.S. stocks. Some commentators assert that this is the case because the typical American can't afford to purchase stocks, but the facts refute this claim. Opening a brokerage account is easy and free, and you can invest as little as $50 in an index fund. The truth is that the risk that stocks present makes the average American uneasy. Don't believe what I say? The NBER study demonstrates a significant disparity in wealth between the rich and the poor following the Great Recession due to the middle class's oversaturation of stock market ownership. The wealthy were overwhelmingly favored during the ensuing stock market recovery because they didn't panic and dump their stocks like so many less wealthy people did. Sadly, the middle class's move away from stock ownership has had a lasting effect, widening the wealth gap in the US. Without a doubt, investing carries risk, but it was done correctly. Whether investing in the stock market or launching a business, these risks can be managed. The wealthy determine whether their expected returns are worthwhile, assuming a particular level. And it's obvious that taking on these risks is paying off, as 96% of the income for the 400 wealthiest Americans comes from dividends, interest, capital gains, or business income. Fifth mindset. Regardless of your financial situation, a home is not an investment. The largest financial commitment of your life will be making a down payment on a home, which is often the richest person's most prized possession. The wealthy are aware that in many cases, a house is just another expense along with food and utilities, and you must cut your expenses as much as you can if you want to increase your wealth. Sadly, a lot of Americans use the excuse that they can spend whatever the bank will lend them. Well, sure, it's a lot of money every month, but it's real estate, they tell themselves when they want to buy a house. And a long-term investment is real estate. A fairy tale says this: real estate investments can be made in a variety of ways, including through rental properties, home flipping, REITs, and alternative real estate investments. Your main residence, however, is not one of them. Instead of asking what the maximum amount I can afford to spend on housing is, ask what's the lowest amount I can spend and still be content. You can invest more money into creating true wealth through genuine investments if you spend less on housing. Sixth mindset. Money is a tool. Although there are numerous uses for money, the majority of people use it to make purchases. A bigger home, a newer car, better clothes, and better accommodations when traveling. The wealthy use their money in more productive ways because they're aware that money can be used to make more money, while the majority of people spend their money like it's their day job. Every dollar you put into the world through investing as opposed to spending can increase your income. There are various ways to multiply $1 into 5. You can start a business, invest in real estate, lend money to others, invest in stocks, bonds, or other paper assets, to name a few. Although there are countless options, each one starts with the same straightforward idea. Rather than spending money, invest it. Don't trust me, you only need to consider how the country's billionaires manage their finances. The IRS publishes a breakdown of the 400 richest Americans' sources of income every few years. Only 4.47% of their total income in 2014 was derived from wages and salaries. The breakdown of the rest of their revenue sources is shown below. Dividends are 10.89% and interest is 4.24%, 16.24% for corporations and partnerships, and 16% for capital gains. All of this income resulted from making investments, and the vast majority of it came from establishing and expanding a business. In other words, while your job won't make you wealthy, your business investments just might. Resources are endless. The seventh mindset. Each of us only has so many hours in a day, as I previously stated. So if you want to increase your output and watch your revenue soar, you must make use of the resources that are already available to you. The wealthy use other people's money to assemble their own portfolio of assets because of this. Typical examples include rental homes. Certainly, you could put away $100,000 and purchase a house in cash. Only 20% of your own money would need to be put down in order to borrow 80% of the purchase price. When financial professionals refer to good debt, they mean something similar. Even after paying your mortgage and other monthly expenses, if each rental property generates $500 in cash flow each month, your debt is making you richer every month. Not bad. Your income and wealth will increase more quickly the faster you can amass assets of this kind. Renting out properties isn't the only good use of debt. To start or expand a small business, you can, however, use other people's money as leverage. Although you might have to give up some equity at first, wouldn't you rather own 70% of a $1 million company? So if you want to increase your income and assets, don't be afraid to use other people's resources to accelerate the realization of your goals. I appreciate you coming. Click the subscribe button right away if you want to transition from the life you have to the life you deserve.